sing with us too?
Because I will.
Everybody knows.
All right, here we go.
Back in the city, the night is a wire. Dream in the subway, earth is a fire. Well, then you want me to give me a sign and catch my breath, get closer behind. In touch with the ground, I'm on a time after you. Still like a sound, I'm with the crowd, and I'm hungry like the wolf. Down on the line, it's 49. I'm on a time after you. My mouth is alive, Jesus like wine, and I'm hungry like the wolf. Stuck in the forest, too close to hide. I'll be upon you by my side. I was drumming, sleeping so tight. You feel my heat just a moment behind. Touch with the ground, I'm on the sound after you. A sense of the sound, I'm all around, and I'm hungry like the wolves. Right, discarded rhyme, I'll write a sound after you. My mouth is alive, all over inside, and I'm hungry like the wolves.
The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one. The little ones start to suck his thumb, and the others go marching down to the ground, to the underground. The ants go marching tail by tail, hurrah, hurrah.
Dance, but it won't take 5 years. Spent there 7 years. You know that shit just takes time. Well, it takes one to know one. Because I used to be one. Well, at least that's the paradigm. There's nowhere to hide. Yeah, I'm so open and high. 5,000 You can take a little square dance, but it won't take 5 years to scratch that 7-inch. You know that shit just takes time. Well, it takes one to know one, because I used to be one, or at least that's the paradigm. I know with you all the time. Yeah, I saw with my own green eyes, maybe 4 or 5 blocks away. All the memories that make me weak. Oh, I said for life. I'm so fucked up and all I want is you. You are my albatross, my little albatross. Albatross, you are my albatross. Why do you perpetrate the lies? Yes, it's true. You are my albatross. All twisted in this disguise. I'm nobody but fucking you. You are my albatross, my sexy albatross. You got me all up in this house, my albatross. This is my albatross. This is something for me. It jumps into my mind subconsciously. Like seed and me. And this albatross will grow.
And now, we have some young singers who are creating quite a deal of excitement here at the Marigold Ballroom in Minneapolis. If you haven't heard of these ladies, then you're probably the wrong age. They are rock and roll specialists. Now, no matter what you think about rock and roll, try and keep a nice open mind about what the kids go for these days, or else the youngsters think you won't understand them. And now, if you are ready for our rock and roll specialists, here is Fuzzy Machete.
I've got a mortgage my car, and I've got a full-time job. And the dog needs to go for a walk. The sink's full of dishes. And I've gotta change my sheets. Gotta do my taxes. They're due again next week. I just wanna get drunk and push together my goals. I just wanna get drunk and push together my goals. I just wanna get drunk and push together my goals. I just wanna get drunk and push together my goals. Gotta get an oil change. Gotta get that headlight fixed. Gotta buy some groceries. Tickets for Electric Six. Gotta register for that convention in June. So many serious things. So many serious things to do. I just wanna get drunk and push together my goals. I just wanna get drunk and push together my goals. I just wanna get drunk and push together my goals. I just wanna get drunk and push together my deadlines to finish building whatever I decide to make. No one tells me what to build or how many pieces it's gonna take. Everything that seems important goes to the recess of my mind as I dump out another box of bricks for another glass of wine. Just wanna get drunk and push together my goals. I just wanna get drunk and push together my goals. I just wanna get drunk and push together my goals. I just wanna get drunk and push together my goals. Mary Poppins said, in every job there is a game. What a crock of shit. Folding socks will numb your brain. Being responsible is a great thing in every way. But when I get home, I just want to have fun and play. I just want to get drunk and put together my goals. I just want to get drunk and put together my goals. I just want to get drunk and put together my goals. I just want to get drunk and put together my
My advice to you, start drinking heavily.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy. Why, oh, why?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Humans of the internet, welcome to the Monday Night Comedy Show. Give it up for your host, Andrew Danger Reynoldsson.
Hey, I need a bigger table. Hey, everybody. Hey. Hi, welcome to the Monday Night Comedy Show. My name is Andrew Danger Brindleson. This is the 598th Monday Night Comedy Show. If you're just joining us, we've been doing this since the aughts, and you're really, really fucking late. But you are welcome here. All of you are welcome. Everybody who's watching from home, everybody here in Nano Taco Studios in beautiful North Minneapolis, where we lay our scene. Yes, we have a great show tonight, and let me try to actually watch the show and be able to see. All right. Okay, did I ask about their week?
Not yet.
How was your week?
It happened.
Hey, yes. All right, a couple of you, excellent. Here in the studios, of course, is J Money the motherfucking Hawk Cacaw. You can show people your face. There he is. Look at him. Look at that smile. What a trusting face. At the bar, we have St. May. Do we have a camera on St. May?
Yeah.
We do? We're gonna have that. Oh, well, hello. The ethereal glow of St. May. And then we have, everybody here at Nano Taco, we'll thank them. We can't do that before the show because then they'll be like, oh, well, we did such a good job already. Let's go the fuck home. And I don't know what button to push. Kruger and I can pretend to be tech savvy, but I'm pretty sure I don't know how.
I don't think they want us just pushing.
I don't know how this works. This like why can't I touch these words at the bottom of the screen? I don't understand. Anyhow, I should have been born a what's not Mennonite or Amish. Amish are the ones no tech. You really don't know?
I always thought it was Amish, but
that Amish could not have shiny buttons or iPads. No buttons or iPads. But Mennonites they can't. They dress like Amish, but they drive Ferraris. I'm just surprised that you don't have an opinion on this. It's such an important matter. Anyhow, love you, J Money, the motherfucking Hot Cacao. Hey, we're celebrating our 600th show 2 weeks from tonight. What? We've been doing this for 600 times. How ridiculous. We should have been killed years ago. But as luck would have it, we were not. So we have persevered. And during this COVID, we have found a new home in Nano Taco Studios. And we say, sucks to your Asmar, COVID-19. You can't stop us from doing comedy type product. We can't legally call what we do comedy here. It's
for your finest purveyor of comedy type product, visit the Monday Night Comedy Show.
It's like an aerosol cheese. That's what the Monday Night Comedy Show provides. And we are the aerosol cheese of comedy shows. Page 23, meaning we've been doing this for 23 weeks, reading Picture Me Famous, a Full House Stephanie novella written by, who knows, some ghostwriter that's probably ashamed and was writing by the word, being paid by the word, kind of like Dickens. Charles Dickens presents Picture Me Famous. It is. You don't think Dickens ghost wrote a book about Stephanie Tanner? The middle, of course. Well,
I mean, how long did Dickens live?
Why do we pay these Rhodes Scholars that we have on staff at the Monday Night Comedy Show when they never show up to our
That's where all the money's
to our Dickens scholar? Jeff, we need you to know all there is to know about Charles Dickens by next week. It's a good start. It's a very good start. We didn't do it. We're guilty of a lot of stuff at the Monday, but not killing Dickens. That's weird. How many comedy shows have to defend themselves against killing a man who's been dead for 150 years? Anyway, who the fuck is reading? I'm so stoned I can't even see straight. Ladies and gentlemen, or folks, see? I'm so stoned I can't. I know. I've been doing so well over the last few weeks. Here to read page 23 of this horrible monstrosity of a book. Please welcome everybody in the studio. Start freaking out for John Wheeler.
Oh, my glasses won't be foggy anymore. All right. Time to read Charles Dickens's Picture Me Famous by Bob Saget, who is secretly Charles Dickens. All right. Maybe I'll ram her. What the hell kind of... Maybe I'll ram her, Stephanie cried. Even if she is new, she doesn't deserve you. Oh, Miss Sims, Stephanie moaned. What's all the fuss? How could you do it? Give me that nasty C+. We know what that means. Suddenly, Comet started barking loudly. Stephanie's little sister, Michelle, came racing into the room with her fingers in her ears. Oh, it's you, Michelle cried, her eyes wide. I thought I heard a fire alarm. The front door opened and DJ, Stephanie's older sister, came into the living room, tossing her jean jacket onto the couch. Stephanie continued to play, only dimly hearing her sister say something to her. Geez, is that you, Steph? DJ asked. I never watched Full House. I could hear the noise from down the block. All the dogs in the neighborhood are barking and whining. Are you planning to write a story about how you drove the dogs in town crazy? Stephanie kept up her jam session of one. She was really getting into it. At that moment, Jesse came back out of the kitchen. How's it going, Stephanie? He asked. I couldn't quite hear you singing because the dog in the yard next door was barking so loudly. Another Dickens classic. Hang on. Safety. Safety.
John Wheeler, reading page 23. John, on behalf of the Monday Night Comedy Show, we'd like to present this certificate suitable for framing reading accomplishment. You did it. You read page 23 of Picture Me Famous. John Wheeler, folks. Let's go. Outstanding. And here I was going to be so good and remember to kill the bear. I'm sorry, I forgot to kill Whitey, everybody. If you're just joining us, please put your kids in the cellar, and you know, if you have a delicate constitution, please remember that we don't make any money off of this show. So this is Whitey, and it's time to kill Whitey, as we are often to do. Kill Whitey! And then we put his gross corpse over here as a warning to other comedy show bears in the metro and in the Midwest and beyond. So we have a show tonight, believe it or not, folks, that is definitely 598th worthy as the best Monday night comedy show we've ever had. Since last week was the best one we had. So every week we offer you the best of the best. It's like a Ken Burns documentary, only it's about 2 hours long instead of 15 to 20 weeks of material. We had John Reed. Cougar, are you doing okay? Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to have a conversation real quick, but I'll introduce the first. Never mind. Our back and forth. Well, no, it's a, no. Now it would be weird. So our first. I love this show. Our first item on the to-do list is watch a video. We watched a little bit of Zach LaCreme last week by Joey Vincent. However, tonight we have another Zach LaCreme video. Zach LaCreme teaches food, written and directed by Joey Hamburger. Enjoy!
It's not easy. If it was easy, I would be good at it.
These lessons are not lessons that you are going to get in a book, and that's because Zach can't read.
What's pizza? It's round, like the planet, and it's flat, also like the planet.
Cooking is a mystery, and after you take this class, it's going to be an even greater mystery.
Some chefs use the oven, some use a microwave, a pizzazz. I'm going to teach you how to cook inside of a trash can.
Zach LaCreme can't cook. And that's the magic.
A wood fire pizza is going to give a great wood fire taste. You're not going to believe how much flavor the trash can add.
You are not going to believe how much plastic a trash can has.
You find a wrapper to a mozzarella cheese stick. That's going to add flavor. That's going to make this thing pop.
Oh, what's this? It's not a pepperoni, it's a yogurt lid.
I used to be the head chef of Le Pizza e la Pasta, which is Italian for the pizza and the pasta.
He was actually fired for speaking to his customers in only Italian, which would infuriate them.
That's a spicy meatball. See, it sounds Italian, but it's not. This is a little secret of mine. I call it homemade wine.
Most winemakers like to get their grapes from Napa or France.
I'm going to teach you that the best grapes for making wine are at Cub Foods. Take our grapes, we're going to put it in the blender, put it in there with somebody else's wine. Smell? Bad. Taste? More bad. I think the whole act of eating is vulnerable and dangerous. And I want my customers to feel that.
Picture everything that you know about cooking. Well, in 15 minutes of this class, you're not going to know it anymore.
I want a customer to walk away and think, this taste is never going to leave my mouth.
Don't take this class to cook. Don't take this class to learn. Don't take this class.
If you've never had food, you're going to love this class.
I'm Zach LaCreme, and this is my master class.
Humans of the internet, that was Zach LaCreme Teaches Food by Joey Hamburger.
Go to YouTube and look up Joey Hamburger and or Sheep, and you'll find a lot of his videos, and I think you'll like them. So, what is next? Well, I'll tell you what's next. We have a very good friend of the Monday Night Comedy Show on streaming in from his home in parts unknown. Do we not have Mr. Christensen? There he is.
Hey, everybody.
Joe, we miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too.
A lot of people are wondering if you've been writing new material each week since you left.
No.
No?
I write gardening manuals now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm a beat guy.
We do. I should have explained because you were famous at the Monday Night Comedy Show for doing like 20 some odd weeks of all new material each week, either streaming or coming to the studio, and it's been fantastic. And you set a gold standard for somebody named Patrick Bauer, I think his name is. Nicholas Piontek Tech. Okay. Yeah, some newbies have decided they want to write new stuff each week now, inspired by your lead. So
fuck yeah.
We are super looking forward to hearing what you have to say. So folks in Nanotaka Studios, put your hands together. Everybody on the internet, join them for Joe Christensen.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey. Yeah. All right, that's good. I think it's kind of crazy that people with minimum wage jobs have to wear like specific uniforms. Like my friend got fired from McDonald's just because he went to work dressed up like the king from Burger King with no pants on. All right. I'm all for plant-based protein. Like just last week, I ate a pig that was living in a bush. I met a lady who said she was a sapiosexual. If you don't know what a sapiosexual is, it's someone who comes every time they have to explain what that word means. I like how Goodyear has a blimp. It makes a lot of sense, Goodyear having a blimp. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see a blimp up in the sky, I'm like, holy shit, look at the tires on that fucker. I'm one of those annoying jerks who celebrates his birthday for a whole week. But to be fair, I think I deserve it, you know? Because that's how long I was turtling in and out of there for. I just found out I had to get one of those. I have to get one of those ankle bracelets. Unless you guys know a better way to spend a Forever 21 gift card. Whoever came up with the phrase, "you're putting the cart before the horse," has never owned a good pushing horse. I get really confused at airports. I don't know. Have you guys ever boarded the wrong plane? Fucking sucks. Like I was supposed to go to Jamaica, and I was on the plane. I'm like, why haven't we seen the ocean yet? Also, when are we going to stop dusting all these crops? If you're walking down the street and you come across a pile, like a puddle of your own blood, no matter how tempting it is, for God's sake, do not lie down in it. A lot of people are found dead that way. I used to think the imaginable was a grown man sitting alone on a teeter-totter. Then I bought that sex swing. Now it's just a regular swing in my basement. Check it out. My favorite jeans to buy are Lucky Jeans. Have you guys seen Lucky Jeans? Yeah. They're kind of fun, right? I don't know if you guys know this, but on the fly, it's written Lucky You. Right on the fly, it says Lucky You. And that used to confuse me why it was there, but then I figured it out. It's there for the person who's lucky enough to unzip that fly. So I guess it's for Daryl, my zipper repair guy. It's pretty great. He lets me keep the pants on. We had to bring my dad in for chemotherapy for the first time. Sounds pretty serious, but don't worry, he doesn't have cancer. We were just sick of his frosted tips. I'm pretty good at impersonations. Like, do you guys know Gary Woodward? No? Okay, good. I've been using that fucker's Visa card. I wasn't very popular in school, you know? Like, the kids would hate me because I was always raising my hand. And my teacher would really hate me because the only question I'd ask was, "What's your name again, lady?" I signed up for Christian Mingle. It's confusing, though. Which Bible verse means they're DTF? I like how the mob, if the mob kills someone and throws them in the lake, they say they're swimming with the fishes now, which I think is cool. But that also means that if you come across a fish, a dead fish on the shore, that fish is walking with the people. It's goddamn fish mafia. Okay. Had to have my car towed. Nothing's wrong with it. It just likes to be held. I'm glad I'm not one of those weirdos during quarantine who lined the whole perimeter of their bedroom with jars of urine. Nope, for me, it's still one big jar. My favorite job I ever had, and you can't really do it now, but my favorite job was door-to-door salesman. Because if you're a door-to-door salesman, you get to do fun product demonstrations. Like I'd walk into a house and say, "Bam, check this shit out." And then I'd grab a bottle of wine and I'd pour wine all over the carpet. Just start pouring it all over the place. And then I'd reach and grab the product, this $59.99 German butcher knife. And I'd say, thanks to this knife, I can pour as much wine as I want to. Do you guys know Mr. Potato Head was actually based on a real person? It's pretty crazy. Back in the 1800s, there was this guy in Germany who used to keep a bunch of loose teeth and eyeballs up his anus. I've had some weird roommates. Weirdest roommate of all time, I walked in on him, and he was pleasuring himself to this giant book of erotic optical illusions. Yeah, he covered himself up real quick. He's like, Joe, it's not what it looks like. All right. I think that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Humans of the internet, give it up for Joe Christensen.
Oh, so good to have you back, Joe. I hope you come back very soon. Once again, Joe Christensen, everyone. I don't know if that was all new, but he holds one of the records for the longest consecutive weeks of new material at the Monday Night Comedy Show, and every week had us rolling on the what's the ROL MMAO? How yeah, but it's Rolf. That's what laughing my ass off. What's SMH mean?
Shake my head.
Shake my head. I didn't know that. And DTF is down to fuck.
Correct.
Why don't people just say that? It covers a lot of reasons. Video. Here's another video. We are always looking for video submissions, and if you have some sort of short, funny video that you want to let us show, we are more than happy to say yes to you and watch it before and laugh before anyone else can. And we'll also tell you to go to YouTube, of course, and like everything that you put on there. So this next video is from Mikey Crone, who's going to be doing the show probably here in the next couple of weeks. He hit me up from out of the blue. We haven't seen Mikey in months, since the before time, the long ago when we didn't have to wear masks, and we could wash our hands for 10 seconds, not 20. So yeah.
Joe also wants us to plug Joe Quest 200.
Joe Quest 200, his podcast about where they come up with basically the best joke ever written. Every performance, every
week.
You can go on Facebook for Joe Quest 200. You can look it up and of course like it, and or Google it, and whatever comes up, make it your wallpaper on your phone. Very good. Coming up next is a Today Show segment by our friend Mikey Crone. Enjoy.
I'm Michael Michaels reporting live for the Today Show. When the COVID pandemic struck, many people saw their jobs displaced. But not everybody just stood idly by. Some people found new, creative ways to supplement their old income, much like the man I'm joined by now. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what it was like starting Bobby's Dog Breeding?
Yeah, well, I do want to say Trump 2020, for one. And then to get this straight, I wasn't displaced. I was actually fired. But blessing in disguise. The day I got fired, I pull in to the driveway and see all my dogs running around. I thought, everyone likes puppies. Start breeding puppies.
What are some of the challenges associated with starting a profession that you'd formerly never done?
Biggest challenge, I don't have any puppies yet. And getting kind of tired of having sex with all my dogs. I mean, it's been a couple of months now, right? And I mean, 3 times a day, 7 days a week, fucking 3 months, times that by 7, I got 7 dogs. That's like fucking 47 times I've had sex with my dogs.
Humans on the internet. That's a Today Show segment by Mikey Crone.
See, it was from Mikey Crone. It was very funny. The reactions from the other. Anyway. But once again, that's our shout out. We want your funny videos. So if you have a YouTube page and you make weird shit, even if it's weird shit on your phone and edit it on your phone and sent on your phone, just let us know and we'll happily show it. We like people. Don't be an asshole. That's our other thing. Is we don't. If you're a dick, don't send us anything because we'll politely ignore it. So or passive aggressively. Right. Yeah, is Kathleen here? Is she? She's ready to go because our next comic was supposed to be here in studio in Anataka Studios, but due to the recent rise in COVID-19 cases in Minnesota, we've decided to kind of hold off on having too many people here in studio because we don't want to make anyone at Nano Taco Studios sick, no one here at the Monday Night Comedy Show sick, and we certainly don't want our performers getting ill. So that's our way of saying we love you. Aside from literally saying it to your face, we love you, and I'd go so far as to sneak into your home at night and whisper that in your ear when you're sleeping. Is that bad? Did it too much? Too much love. That's they do that stuff at Acme, not at the Monday.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Certain rumors I can't cash. Pew, pew, pew.
Please accept this change of topic.
I accept your change of topic, and I see your truth. And thank you, Kruger, for saving me from myself. Good. What's next, you ask? Hark! It is she, our friend, your friend, Kathleen O'Brien. Welcome back, Kathleen.
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll start. I've got a new padded push-up bra. It's from Victoria's Secret. The secret is you're going to be really disappointed. I know someone who hates smoking joints. How do you hate joints? That'd be like hating babies. If babies were little bundles of joy. I met this girl who was bragging about how she practices celibacy, which I thought was noble, until she said, "Yup, ever since I had my..." So what she meant was, I practice paranoia ever since the worst thing that ever happened to me. All right, I'll move on. Okay. In college, I gained 30 pounds. I was taking the pill because you don't need to use a condom when no one will have sex with you. Okay. This one's a dirty one. Sometimes I realize my own mortality, and I experience on a really deep level that life can't last forever. Like when I'm being choked. It's not that bad. It's less painful than watching Rent. But you still come out singing No Day But Today. All right. I live with my parents, and I've been seeing a guy lately, and my mom's being ridiculous. She says she'll have to get to know him before he can sleep over. And I was like, Mom, that is crazy. I haven't even gotten to know him. Slap a pair of funny glasses on a fat guy, and they instantly become beautiful to me. It's like they're Cinderella. And I'm their fairy godmother, like bibbity boppity boing. It's a boner. Okay. All right. Never mind. My therapist said I'm too much of a pleasure seeker. She said, you do things to excess. The way you smoke, the way you eat, the way you drink. If this were the 1800s, a woman like you would have been burned at the stake. And I was like, excuse me, did you just say steak? I'm so high, that sounds great. I assume that if you're a prostitute, when it comes to BJs, don't think about it. You just do it. So it's like improv, except people are willing to pay for it. Scientologists don't believe in taking medication, which I think is ridiculous because some people need medication. Like people with heart problems need medication, and people with diabetes need medication, and people who believe in Scientology need medication. Okay. If somebody asked me WWJD, I suppose I'd say, you mean what would I do if I was the human shish kebab that created Christian rock? Well, fuck. I guess lay low. Go buy Ernesto or something. All right. That was stupid. You all know I'm bipolar. And sometimes people ask me if I think I'm the Messiah. And I say it depends. And they say on what? And I say on if the blood of Jesus is truly wine. Because if that's the case, yes, I am the Messiah. All right. Let's see here. A lot of people ask me, they're like, do you get offended when people make fun of bipolar disorder? One person in particular defended me and made a really good point. She was like, it's like having cancer. Would you make fun of someone who has cancer? And I was like, you're totally right. No, I wouldn't. Unless that person also had bipolar disorder. That was mean on my own expense. Okay. This is silly. I saw Drew Barrymore got a large tattoo on her forearm that says breathe. What would she do without it? Pass out, come to, like, damn it, I forgot again. All right. Marriage seems like a lot of work. And now with prenuptial agreements, it seems like a lot of work without the paycheck. No, thank you. For that, I do this. Okay. Someday I want to work at the grocery store, offering out goodies like my grandma used to before she was arrested for indecent exposure. You always hear people say, I married my best friend. I married my best friend. I married my best friend. Just once, I want to hear somebody say, I married my arch nemesis. I was protecting a city from crime. He was the ringleader of all the dangerous criminals. We fell in love. Also, I am Batman. I'm anti-vaccine. So I'm a rebel with polio. So that's fun. I dated a guy once who had anger issues. He had really bad anger issues. So finally I had to lay down the law. I was like, listen, either you need to seek some help or I need to stop hitting on your brother. Okay. Oh, man. Let me see if I have any more for you. That's all I got, y'all. Thank you. Bye.
Woo! Humans of the internet, give it up for Kathleen O'Brien.
Yeah! Thank you, Kathleen. We will have you back, in studio, obviously, when it's safe. But you be safe, and you and yours. We love you.
Thank you.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something about your background, Kathleen. It kind of looks like you're outside, but really well lit. I don't know. It just looks like the outside. You're on the outside of your house. To me,
no, I'm inside.
I think you're just roughing it.
It's just that the blinds. Whatever. I'm inside.
Okay. All right. I'm well, Kruger's actually in a library, as you can see. And there's a young librarian right behind him looking up something. May is May is at a don't touch her. Don't touch her, Kruger. May is fighting a kraken behind her. It's a little cute octopus, and Kat Morgan is she's in guitar heaven. There's where those guitars are like lollipops and they grow on the walls. So, and I'm in front of a stupid vinyl banner that I got from somebody in Wisconsin. So, we all have our stories, our Grand Casino Hinkley stories. Kruger.
Yeah, buddy.
This is our last night having people here in studio for a while, just to be safe. And what better way to do it than with some music? So, yeah, we haven't had this guy at the Monday Night Comedy Show in a long time, since when we were in a basement breathing in each other's COVID vapors. Before it was even a twinkle in our little lungs. Put your hands together, everybody, for Mr. Eric Peter DeWolf.
Hello, everybody out there. We're going to try and keep this simple and fun. This is one that I like to think of it as an audition, and it's about some of what we're doing here. Let's go. Do what we do, put on a show. Grab a drink and a chair, come on now, we're almost ready to go. Zoobily zoo, zoobily zai. It's a human zoo in here tonight, but that's all right. Here comes another, we're glad we get to see you tonight, night, I said. Here comes another, we're glad we get to see you here with us tonight. We're gonna dim down the lights and keep the sets all tight. It's gonna be all right. We got a host and you know he's the most. His name is Andy and he's dandy. And if you wanna squawk J Money the Hawk, caw-caw, caw-caw. Here comes another, we're glad we get to see you tonight, night, I said. Here comes another, we're glad we get to see you here with us tonight. If you think that you're funny, contact Mayor Ronnie, they'll book you for the show. And if I had horns in this part, this is where they would go. Like this. Or you can meow along. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Here comes another, we're glad we get to see you tonight, night, I said. Here comes another, we're glad we get to see you here with us tonight. We're gonna dim down the lights and keep the sets all tight. It's gonna be all right. Tell all your friends to support the Monday Night Comedy Show. See you around. Stay healthy.
Eric, good job. Yes.
Humans of the internet, give it up for Eric Peter DeWolf.
Eric Peter DeWolf. Woo. Excellent. And if you want to play music here at the Monday, just send an email to mncs@gmail.com. Hit up our Facebook page and just, send us little emoticons and whatnot. Things write LOL. And what was the thing that I think David Mutter wrote? FFL? FFM? FFS. What is that?
For fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake. That's good. I feel like I'm learning a lot tonight. Getting a little more wrinkles in my brains. Yeah. Yes. Are there any others? If there's any others that you think I should know, just put them in the comments so I can send weird text messages to my loved ones, and I don't send text messages to my loved ones. Family is a weakness. Anyway, what's next? Week 1 of 8, comic in residence. Yes, that's right. That's right, everyone. The Monday Night Comedy Show has a program called the Comic in Residence Program, where you sign up for not 1, not 4, but 8 weeks in a row doing all new material just written for the Monday Night Comedy Show audience here in Nano Taco Studios and online. So here at his first week doing all new material, and you look like you're wearing a funny hat because the angle is
yeah.
But, welcome, 5 new. Can't wait from Nick Piontek, everyone.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry for my tardiness. I somehow lost my selfie stick, which is like probably the third most important thing in my life during coronavirus has been my selfie stick to do these videos. And I've left the house, I think, like 3 times in the last couple weeks, and somehow I'm losing shit. Like, I'm not even going anywhere. I'm not even going anywhere to lose shit, and somehow I'm losing stuff. And then beyond that, I was putting on a shirt, and my Mitch Hedberg shirt is getting tight. According to the scale, I'm losing weight, but I feel fatter. Like, my face is getting fatter, but my body is losing weight. And it's the most obscene thing. I'm so sick of fucking Corona. Wear a goddamn mask. Shut the fuck up. And let's be done with this. I want to do real shows again. I am not an introvert. I am an extrovert, and I miss people, and I miss people so much. I'm becoming a shitty person. Normally, if you know me in real life, I'd like to believe I'm a very supportive person. And me and my nephew, who I love probably more than anyone else in this world, we're talking the other day, and I was like, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I was going on a tangent. I was like, now you have this opportunity where you can, really do what you want to do. And he looked at me and he goes, I think I want to own a sports franchise. And I was like in my head going, is he so dumb he doesn't know that like he has to be like a multi-billionaire? Is he talking about like on Madden, on PlayStation? I literally watched this kid buy a new cell phone and literally crack the screen within 2 hours just a couple days ago. I'm not gonna lie, between me, you, and the Monday Night Comedy Show and whoever's watching this, I'd be really happy if that kid ended up like a co-owner of a Subway franchise. I'd feel like he's achieved, like he maybe overachieved in his life. The other thing that he said to me that made me want to kill him in his sleep was he told me that he told me that he enjoyed the movie Home Alone 3, and I had never actually seen the movie Home Alone 3, so we watched it, and it is every bit of terrible that you might think that it is. It is literally, there's no Kevin McAllister, but it's pretty much the same story. The mom looks the same, but this time this little kid literally, he takes care of international terrorists who have stolen a circuit board for a nuclear weapon. This time Home Alone stepped up the fucking ante, everybody. This was written by John Hughes. This was not written by like somebody else. I checked it. John Hughes was like, for Home Alone 3, since we don't have Macaulay Culkin, let's bring nukes into this bitch. Get their attention. Nobody knows this, but the suburbs of Chicago are the most dangerous places in the world. It's worse than actual South Chicago or West Chicago. If you have a giant Tudor or Colonial in the suburbs of Chicago, boy, you better be ready for some international terrorism coming your way. Or at least according to John Hughes. But no, and my favorite part about this movie is it could have totally saved itself if it ended at this exact moment. So spoiler alert, you should have seen this movie 20 years ago, okay? Or don't ever see it would be the better idea. But at one point, the Kevin McAllister that's in this movie, he's got some other name, I don't remember. But he somehow, the bad guy, who again is an international professional terrorist. You're talking about like fucking Hans Gruber level terrorism here. All right, I'm being serious. They are legit, supposedly, is what you're supposed to believe. And he puts his gun down and doesn't realize there's a toy gun. Now, this movie's old enough where they had toy guns that look like real guns before cops started shooting kids. But the bad guy picks up the toy gun, has no, again, international terrorist, has no idea that the weight of this gun is probably ridiculously different, puts it in his pocket. Later on in the movie, as the callback, he points it at the Kevin McAllister, I don't remember his name, and the most gangster shit any movie has ever had. This kid goes, "That's not your gun. This is your gun." And it makes you think that he really pulled his real gat out on him. And I swear to God, I want to director's cut this movie where it just ends with that kid putting 2 right in the terrorist's chest, and then it just says, it's like Omar from The Wire level fucking gangster. Like, it's like literally, he's like, "That's not your gun." It's like Crocodile Dundee meets Kevin McAllister, but with a gun. And it's just insane. But really, it was another toy gun, spoiler alert. But it would have been the shit. It would have been the shit if he was like, "That's not your gun. This is your gun," and just cat. And then his family comes home and they're like, "What is that?" And he's like, "That's a dead terrorist. You guys didn't believe my ass. What's that for Christmas? I told you several times there was people trying to break in, but you didn't believe me." Because in the third one, they don't leave him on a vacation. They just don't believe this little white kid is, I'm telling the truth. So anyway, I'm going to move on. I'm going to say something controversial that the watchers of this are probably going to be really upset about because it's going to strike home. I have a lot of friends who are talking about this now, and what I'm going to say is if you are over the age of 30 and you don't own a house, or you have something wrong with your car, or if you have a bed that sits directly on the floor, I don't want to hear you posting about a fucking PlayStation 5. I have like 38-year-old friends that are living with their parents and they're like, "Got that new PlayStation 5. And I'm like, "I'm buying a house." Something tells me whatever girlfriend you're attached to, I could take pretty quickly. I might be fat, but I at least have my bills in order. But my point of this is a lot of my friends, I really respect their points of view and I respect them as people, but democratic socialism will never work if you're buying a PlayStation when you also should be going to the doctor or you need a new starter on your car. We'd all need to be responsible. And the butt of this joke is PlayStation has like 2 games that came out with this. You're literally spending money on something for 2 games you probably wouldn't even give a shit about in 6 months. And I'm sorry for all the video game players and family members that might have watched this that I maybe got too real with, but that was my deal. I'll tie the democratic socialism better because I don't think that got the response that I wanted. But I think you get the tie-in that my mind is trying to. It's not. I can't convince people that think that Jesus was an American to increase their taxes so we can all have health care if you're living in a garage and playing a PlayStation 5 on a 60-inch screen TV. That's my point. I'm willing to negotiate it, but I did have I used to work at a strip club called Sinners back in the day, and I had one of the DJs that I worked with who by my count is now like 63 years old, tell me that I'm a left-wing nut job because he commented on Facebook and he said Facebook is a liberal crazy site. But then I was like, "But you have 2 Facebook profiles." I was like, "You have not 1 but 2, and they're both active. You're commenting on both of them." And he was like, "I don't get what your point is." And I was like, "It's kind of like me literally bitching about Perkins breakfast, but I eat there for breakfast and dinner. Like maybe you should just go to Parlor and be old and spread your conspiracy theories, and the rest of us will get healthcare and I don't know. education of some kind. I don't know. That was my thought. But then the best part of this is he blocked me on Facebook. So the left-wing agenda conspiracy, the guy has 2 profiles. I'm barely on this shit. and he literally called me a nut job and deleted me on Facebook. And these are the people who are telling you that there was a stolen election and the Illuminati made 5 million votes. So, just remember, these are the people we're supposed to reason with in the future, and maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should just go, you know what? There's your coloring book. Why don't you stay off the internet for a while until you read something that's important? I don't know. How much more time do I have? Did I go over? I figure other people went under.
I think we're good. Unless you got one more?
Unless I got one more, I don't, but I love you guys. I will be better prepared to next week. I was literally negotiating. We're supposed to close on this house on Friday, and so I'm literally negotiating, and I was around my phone all day, and I didn't get one moment to be in the right frame of mind to write jokes, but hopefully I will be in a better place by next week. This might be the last time you see me in my little bedroom here. It might be a new, sexier bedroom the next time. And with a bedroom set, like I promised. No mattresses on floors. I haven't been doing that for a while, for 10 years or so, and maybe. But I will be better prepared. I do have a bunch of new jokes. I didn't remember what new stuff I kind of tied in last week. You guys were so friendly. I got a little drunk with you, and then Andy approached me after the set. And was like, do you want to do new stuff? I was like, I think I did some sort of new stuff tonight, but I didn't really remember. So I wanted to go back and do it true. But I'm going to write some brand new stuff. And we're going to stay away from Corona. I'm going to write you some good stuff about just life and not buying PlayStation 5s. Don't be a consumer and a socialist at the same time. It does make sense. Can you hear me?
Abby wants to know.
I can hear you, Nick.
What happened?
Are you wearing pants right now?
Yes, I am wearing pants. Yep. I'm not wearing socks, but I'm wearing pants. So, but yep, no, you guys got one naked show, and I have to be sober for the next couple of weeks to make sure that that my family and I all get to this new house. So that's when I get pantsless. You guys know that at the Monday Night Comedy Show. I'll get naked if I have like 1.5 drinks around me. I don't care. There's no shame in my game. Just one exception to my face in this when there's no selfie stick.
I think it's hilarious. You can get a selfie stick at the dollar store.
No, I have 2 of them around here. That's the craziest thing, man. I have probably more than that. I have a tripod that connects to my phone. I have 2 selfie sticks. And I couldn't find anything. I don't know why. I was looking for it for an hour, and it was just like one of those times, and I wasn't going to cancel on you. I have no idea. I have like 5 things that would suffice, and I ended up just setting it on my keyboard like that, and that's what we ended up doing. So that's what we did.
Nick, you bragging about owning 2 selfie sticks is like me bragging I have the complete series of Hercules Legendary Journeys.
Yeah, no, I know.
And Highlander, the series on DVD.
Yeah, no, I know. It's not. I didn't mean to brag. What I was trying to say how ridiculous my day is. And just, I mean, it got to the point where I couldn't even find a selfie stick when I'm sure if I rolled around on my floor long enough, one would just end up hitting me, so.
Thank God we have a selfie.
Yeah.
Do you use the selfie sticks more than like when you're on streaming here?
No, I mean, I've done other streaming shows besides you guys. Don't get mad at me, but I mean, I do other streaming shows, and then I did a couple sketches I sort of filmed, and I was doing some other stuff. Yeah, but I mean, all for comedy. I don't look at my face and how swollen it is. I don't like my face in a selfie stick at all.
I usually like the look of your face, but right now I'm just seeing red because are you fucking these other shows or what's going on, Nick?
No, I mean, Andy, it's just a friendship thing. We met on Christian Mingle, and like Joe said, I can't figure out which ones are down to fuck, but the other shows are not. They're not comedy shows. They're poetry shows, In some of them I sing. In one of them I just show my butthole and people tip. That's a very private show.
These are all things that have been done at the Monday Night Comedy Show.
Yeah, but not to the extreme. They'll kick us off on Facebook. It's more of a Russian type site. It's Russian. It's very Russian, North Korean type stuff. But unless I get a stimulus payment one of these days, things are going to get gross. And like I said last week, they're going to get sticky. I got to do what I got to do.
Well, a lot of things are sticky here at the Monday Night Comedy Show, especially back in Club Underground. Every surface was sticky. Here at Nano Talker Studios, the only things that are sticky by design.
Yep. No, they have a very beautiful studio, and it's almost like when you get off a boat and you're back on land. That's what it's like when we're going from Club Underground to there, because you're so used to the ground sticking that I think like my knees just pop up all the time. You know what I mean? Because it's like gravity's working differently. You know what I mean? Like, and so no, that you guys have a beautiful studio, and for everything. I mean, I tried to fire up one show live, and I don't want to do it. I mean, things are getting worse. Everything's gonna have to go virtual for a while. So. I love you guys, and I'll see you every week here for the next couple of weeks.
We love you too. And I know last week we decided that you have a new nickname, and I forget what it was, like Big Johnson America Cock, or what was the we were calling you some dildo that's sold at Sex World. Great American Challenge.
Oh, and the Great American Challenge. The Great American Challenge. I did remember the Great American. Yeah, it was the fist. And that was that, but that was the one I would tell.
Oh.
Yep. And that was the one I did used to tell people was called the Nick. And then they would go up to the Sex World clerks and ask for the Nick and see me at the door, and they'd be like, fuck him. Like, but like this joke is old. And I'm the type of person where I can recycle a joke where you're going to think it's not funny, but once I think you don't think it's funny, it makes it funny to me all over again. And so it just keeps going for me because I'm an only child. So I'm used to appeasing my crazy mind however the hell I can. But the Great American Challenge, I do think it was called the Americana or the American, but it was a big giant American flag dildo. And for disclosure purposes, I will say that I don't think there was all the stars and stripes. I think it was just, but who knows? I haven't been to Sex World since I worked there, so I don't know.
There's only 49 stars on this.
Yeah. That giant 13-inch dildo does not acknowledge Hawaii at all, out of respect.
I was going to say before I acknowledge Missouri. All right.
You guys have a wonderful night. I love you guys.
1 of 8. Thank you so much. We love you.
Yep.
That was American. What is it? Big Johnson Tallywecker. What was the name of the America Challenge? Big old American Challenge. Speaking of a challenge, your next comic, every time he comes and does the Monday Night Comedy Show, we have a huge influx of viewers because he has his own YouTube channel. And as I know, competing. We've actually shown his first episode here at the Monday, and hopefully we're gonna get permission to show more of them. But we can talk about that after he performs. Everybody start freaking out. Internet. Nano Taco, everybody, start screaming! He's coming for your children, John Wheeler! John Wheeler! Woo-hoo!
Yes! I haven't been around more than 2 people in a really long time, but they scream at me just as much. So I feel at home. Thank you. Speaking of home, I recently I bought a house a little while ago with Alexis, and a door-to-door salesman came to my front door within like the first week, just banged on the door like it was 1953. And it took me back a little because I'm like, I actually realized that I've never had a door-to-door salesman come to my house, nor have I seen one outside of the moving pictures. But that might be a positive thing because this was my first house. So anybody going door to door in the basement level of an apartment building is only selling murder. And at these prices, they're giving it away. He talked a lot about murder because he was selling home security systems. And he was probably just was looking to kill me. But I just bought a house. There's all these expenses. I don't have money for a home security system. So this guy did raise some concerns. So I just bought a bunch of signs and stickers that say I have a home security system, and I put them up everywhere. And my hope is that maybe that would kind of deter people from coming up to my house and trying to sell me home security systems. I decided to start putting punchlines into my long, pointless stories. Okay. Yeah, I moved. We bought a house in a few miles from here, actually, in North Minneapolis, and I got really excited at first to start acting all tough, like we living over north now, bap bap bap. And I told Andy kind of specifically where I lived, and he's like, "Oh, you live in the fancy part of north. Shut up." And I got to thinking, I think all of Minnesota is the fancy part of north. Have you ever been to Wisconsin? It's a lot like Minnesota if Minnesota had recently gone through a very nasty divorce. Put on about 20 pounds, starts drinking every day at about 11 a.m. It's noon somewhere, and posts a lot of racist conspiracy theories on Facebook. Yeah, Wisconsin's lonely and fat. Also, hey, speaking of racist conspiracy theories on Facebook, doesn't the future suck? That's all that is. No, all we got was basically like racist conspiracy theories on Facebook. We didn't get flying cars. We didn't get cities on the moon. We didn't get a functioning society of some sort. If you go back far enough, people had all these predictions like, oh, in the future, you'll have a balloon on your top hat and you can float to work on a breeze to the horseless carriage factory or whatever the fuck people worked when they wore top hats. But the thing that we were also promised that I am the most disappointed that we don't have is a little invention called smell-o-vision. People in like the 50s were like, well, we have radio, we have television, and soon we'll have smell-o-vision where you can smell everything. And I actually really like that idea, and people make fun of me, though. They're like, oh, well, it's going to take a little of the pizzazz out of watching my favorite pornos, know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I think maybe there's a few fetishes that smell-o-vision can help rein back in a little bit. I don't think Two Girls, One Cup would have gone nearly as viral if you could smell what The Rock was cooking the whole time. I've never seen it. I guess you all have. I'm pretending to live in the world of smell-o-vision. But no, I think that it should actually be mandatory. Like you have to have it on your phone, on your computer, on TV, everything. Smell-o-vision, just turned up as loud as it can go all the time. It's a government mandate because I want to go back to a time where if you heard someone's opinion, you also got to know what they smelled like when they were giving it to you. And that kind of helped you gauge how seriously you're going to take them. Like, you know, somebody could be like, I'm going to make a YouTube video about how the world is flat. And you'd be like, well, it's America, freedom of speech. If you want someone to watch that for more than 3 seconds, you might want to go ahead and take a shower first. And just like that, the secrets of the universe remain a mystery forever. That guy's not taking a shower. Big Water's not getting in his pants. Yeah, that's a big conspiracy theory concern. I spend a lot of time on the internet. Now, what you may be thinking is, I don't know what I'm thinking, but okay, John, fine. Like, yeah, that would cut us off from those people a little bit, but the stinkos are still going to talk to each other. They're still going to have all kinds of ideas, and they're not going to care. You've seen hoarders. Once you start getting deep, nobody even notices each other anymore. And I think that's okay, because that's what used to happen. Like, that they could talk to each other all they want. They would just, all of that, all QAnon and, you know, hey, white men really have it rough in this day and age. All of that would just be in the back of one of those used video game stores around a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it would be none of our fucking business. It would just stay in there where it belongs, stinking that place up. I figured in real life, you know, like if you ran into one of these people back before the internet ruined society, like if someone just came rolling down the sidewalk on a rascal scooter with flies buzzing around him, you wouldn't engage them and want to find out how they felt about lots of things. You'd just cross the street. You wouldn't give it a second thought. Aside from maybe but you wouldn't know the inner workings of their mind. But, you know, the internet, unable to smell these kind of guys, it's like you just walk right up to him and be like, hey, what you working on there, partner? Hey, is that a shit-covered manifesto? Oh, Let me hang on. Let me have a look. Let's see. We'll just stand here for a while, and I'll see if there's any racist parts of this, and then we can discuss them for 6 hours. Okay, what do we got here? Well, you mentioned Barack Obama about 27 times, but you didn't spell his name the same way twice. What is your issue with this man, sir? I'll tell you what my issue with Barack Obama is. Oh, hold on. Could you open your mouth a little bit wider when you speak? I would like to experience everything that's about to come out of that hole in the next 5 minutes. I want to get in there. Well, when Barack Obama was president, I used to get fucked in the ass every single day. But then, when Trump came along, he told me, I believe personally for some reason, that all I got to do is get fucked in the ass 2 times a day, and then eventually he's going to send lube. That's a gross one. All right. Well, sir, I think you may be being misled and taken advantage of a little bit. I don't think all of that's true or necessary. I think you're talking like some kind of homo. Okay, that's enough. That's very homophobic, sir. All right, all the school children that have been gathering around watching this fight that's been going on for 2 hours, do not listen to this man. He is a racist homophobe. And the children are getting together. They're watching you freak out. And they do see what's happening. They go, wow, that fat sack of crap is really owning that lib. I want to be just like him when I grow up. I think we should listen to everything he has to say. Michelle Obama's from outer space. Well, that does it. We're bringing our dad's guns to schools tomorrow, fella. And that's life on the internet. If your neighborhood was like that in real life, you would move. That's all I got. Thank you, though. I haven't even pretended to try to 8 months. So,
Internet, give it up for John.
John Wheeler, folks. John Wheeler has a YouTube channel, Underdressed and Overserved. You should go on YouTube and check it out. And he's more than 6 feet away from me. All right. So we practice safety here at the Monday Night Comedy Show. Everybody has to wear masks. And then after the show, we touch each other's faces for about 45 minutes. That's what we do. That's what we do. We should get smell-o-vision at the Monday Night Comedy Show.
Andy, we're not supposed to talk about quality face time.
I think what would our smells be? Oak and fresh cut grass and murder, thistles.
We smell like a little bit like murder.
Fresh baked bread and blood. Just, whatever. Big Johnson America cock. I wrote that on a piece of paper. That's just a thing that I do. So,
hey, Andy, David Butter had a comment. Apparently, he agrees with you.
That's the nice part of North? Or am I seeing a delay? What's he saying? I can't see it.
Yeah, the nice part of North.
Ah, very good. David and Cora are my favorite audience members. If we still did trophies, they would definitely get best audience member for sure. Past winners include Saint May, Abby Stakowitz, Tracy Lee, and that's it. I think we only gave out 4. There's others. Oh, Linus. Yep. Yeah. So we thank you, each and every one of you, for joining us here each week, streaming online. We're going to keep going all the way through the end of the year. So every Monday you can look forward to 8 p.m. Central with your pals here at Nano Taco Studios. And speaking of pals, one of our very best good pals, my best good friend, that was remember with the I almost said Toy Story, but it was Forrest Gump, right?
Yeah.
I'm still stoned. Like, why are you looking at me like you're not surprised? Okay. Anyway, my best good friend. Yeah, we're like peas and carrots. Your next comic and I. I'm terrible at segues, even when I'm sober. Anyway, Rebecca, we can see you.
I know.
Hi, Rebecca. We're so happy that you could join us this week. You're in Uptown, right?
I am.
You are? Okay. If I remember where I sent Christmas cards last year.
Yeah, you have my home address.
I do. And if you'd like me to send you a Christmas card this year, please just put your address in the comments. Why not your social security number, and we can figure out your bank's routing number, but your account number for sure, and a couple of passwords that are commonly used. That'd be fun, right? Go do a little shopping. I've never done Black Friday shopping, but I'm into it.
That might not actually happen this year.
Black Friday? Or me stealing people's credit cards?
Oh, maybe we shouldn't say that out loud.
Nobody watches this. That's fine. We're
But
fine.
like, if we get away with it, then it's evidence.
Oh. Well, good thing my name is Jason Kruger, right? I hate myself more. So anyway, I'm super happy that your next comic is here. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us. We heart you. I can't do it right here. LOL, LMMA off.
Good job.
WWJD. There we go. Rebecca Wilson, folks. Everybody. Woohoo!
Oh, hey everybody. Yeah, back to doing streaming shows now, so I get to look at my dumb face again. Just stare at my dumb face and watch myself talk. It's a nightmare. I don't know. But another thing that'd be like a nightmare. So, you know how you go to weddings and everyone has the same Bible verse said at every wedding? It's from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. Love is patient. Love is kind. It's boring. It's overused. I want my favorite Bible verses to be at my wedding, which is from 2 Kings chapter 2, verses 23 through 25. Elisha went to Bethel. As he was walking along the road, some boys came out of the town and jeered at him. "Get out of here, Baldy," they said. "Get out of here, Baldy." He turned around and looked at them, called down a curse at them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys. Those 2 bears are a metaphor for me and my future spouse. And our sworn oath to defend bald men. I don't know. Like Seal, Dave Chappelle, Bruce Willis. But Jeff Bezos, you're fucking out. Fuck Jeff Bezos. That bald guy's gotta go. I don't know. As I've gone through comedy, I realized how much easier comedy would be for me if I was a fat 40-year-old man. Just so much easier. Like it's ridiculous. And the thing is, it's like relatability. Because like people my age are like, "Oh, he looks like my dad." Oh yeah, that's silly. And guys his age are like, "Oh yeah, that looks like a guy that I drink beer and bowl with." Totally relatable. And like the older women are like, "Haha, yeah, that looks like my husband and I had to fuck him." That's hilarious. So much easier. I don't know. And I mean, I'm a strange person. I don't know. I don't like high anticipation holidays and stuff. Like New Year's Eve, you're supposed to like get wasted and wear sequins. Like I don't understand that. Valentine's Day, you're like, "How much do you love me? How much do you love my?" And it's a lot. It's in chocolates and reservations, and it's a little much. But birthdays especially get to me because my friends are like, "Ooh, it's your birthday. What are we gonna do for your birthday?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What are we gonna do for my birthday? I want to watch Arrested Development for the 50th time and eat 2 to 3 burritos, okay? Like, we aren't doing anything. You can't use my birthday as an excuse to drink a bottle of rosé, blackout, and drunk dial your ex, okay? You can do that on your own, Caroline, all right? I am out. it's fun meeting like my boyfriend's mom. This happened like with previous boyfriends, because she looks at me and I feel like she's slightly disappointed that I don't look like her. Because it's like, oh well, I guess you chose another option. Oh, okay. Oh, sure. Yeah, you chose a brunette with no boobs. Okay, sure. Not like mama at all. Sure. But then she finds out I grew up Catholic too. And she's like, oh, same trauma, same damage. Makes sense. Makes sense. I don't know. I'm kind of afraid to ask my family how much science they believe in. Like at this point, because they're not crazy religious, but they're religious, right? And the thing is, people can believe what they want to believe. I don't want to impede that. However, religion over the course of time has been the answer to things. It's like, oh, why is it lightning outside? God is angry. Oh, why are flowers beautiful? Oh, because they're God's creatures, instead of elevating your brain to understand science. And that's because in school you have to take a little bit of intellect and learn something, but it just gets to me that these people are like, oh, I don't like science. It makes my brain hurt. And they just let religion rule everything. It's like, oh, I'm so glad. I'm in remission now. Thank God. It's like, it has nothing to do with it. However, during Tuesday, the night when the election results started coming in, I grew up Catholic, and I promise you, I said a decade of the rosary, and I went, Mary, homegirl, you know what you need to do it. And guess what? It worked. So I think my grandparents may be onto something, but also I'm like, you use the rosary for your own purposes. I'm just using the rosary against you. So it was rosary politics, but it worked out in my favor. I don't know. So, people are talking about cancel culture and oh, you need to stop it. No, I'm fucking digging it, because now it's not just about white cis male comedians getting canceled. We're canceling restaurants, you guys. This, in Minneapolis, because of just systemic racism within the workers versus the owners. The big one is Glam Doll right now, right? Yeah. And the thing with restaurants and male comedians that they have in common is that they don't know how to apologize or properly sanitize themselves. That went over better than I thought. Okay. One more thing. So if people can tell about me, I'm decently theatrical. I know how to put emphasis on words. When I was in college, I auditioned for a lot of acting programs, and I got invited back 60 kids out of 1,000 that auditioned for the University of Minnesota BFA acting program. Okay. And we had to do all these workshops. All these 17-year-olds had to go and stay with other students. And there was this one workshop that was led only by the juniors in the class, right? No faculty. We had to lie in the studio on our backs, close our eyes, and we were led through a chakra exercise. And the students were like, place your hand on your heart. This is where you feel love. Place your hand on your stomach. This is where your ego is, your courage, your fear. Massage that for a moment. See if anything comes up. Now place your hand on your sexual chakra. They had 17-year-olds from all over the country closing their eyes, groping themselves to try to get into an acting program. And the only one from a Catholic school, I was like, what is going on? I was hovering my hand around. Then one of the juniors pushed my hand down and goes, participate. Oh my God. At that moment, I realized that classical acting really wasn't for me. Because if that's the way to do it, I don't know. But now I just see, like, I look at Benedict Cumberbatch or Dame Judi Dench, and I'm like, damn, I bet that girl can go down on her clit. Like, no. Right?
Humans of the internet, give it up for Rebecca Wilson.
That was awesome. Rebecca Wilson! Woo! Rebecca, you and Andrew Wegleitner host a show. Is it monthly now, or is it going to be weekly?
It's going to be monthly.
Monthly?
So the one is going to be December 9th, that Wednesday at 8 p.m. What's cool is it's totally virtual, but we do it at RIM 5, this virtual reality place in St. Louis Park. So you're there with the gear. You get to see our avatars and then like hands. So you see like hand gestures and stuff. And the guys there have made this virtual comedy club with little like high top tables and stuff. It's up to 20 people tickets. 20 people can come into the show, $10 tickets, and it's the safest way to watch it. We will have 3 performers besides Andrew and I, and they go in their own separate room with VR equipment. And Joe Christensen is going to be on the first show, as you saw him earlier.
Heard of him, yeah.
Along with Tiffany Norton and Devin Cook.
Oh my God.
Awesome. Yeah.
We're watching a Tiffany Norton video next. So, well, thank you one more time for Rebecca Wilson, everybody here in Otago and on the internet. So, I saw some screenshots, you guys, Rebecca and Andrew, about your like the VR headset, and it made me think of Lawnmower Man. Did you ever see Lawnmower Man? Yeah. When that movie came out in theaters, my friends and I think it was Tim Reeling and Eric Halverson, if I remember correctly, we were theater hopping, and I saw a little bit of Wayne's World, a little bit of Memoirs of an Invisible Man, the Chevy Chase movie, and a little bit of Lawnmower Man all in once. And it took me almost 15 years after that to actually see any of those movies all the way through.
Oh, wow.
I know, because I was like, well, I saw enough of it, you know.
Oh, man, like
Wayne's
World was like a staple of my brain.
I know that now. I can't. But I've still yet to see Lawnmower Man all the way through.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Is it?
I liked it.
Jeff Fahey and Pierce Brosnan, wasn't it? So,
I can't remember.
I know Jeff Fahey was the lawnmower fellow. Yeah. Well, that was good. We learned a lot about myself. Anyhow, what's next? A video from the Bitter Baker, episode 13, from our dear friend Tiffany Norton. Episode 13 is called "COVID Was the Case That They Gave Me Prison Bars." Enjoy the Bitter Baker.
Welcome to Solitary, y'all. Thank you for joining me again for the Bitter Baker. Today, I'm pleased to present my new recipe. COVID was the case that they gave me prison bars. I think most people have wondered at some point whether they would be good in jail, whether they would survive in jail. And I think the last few weeks has proven to most of us, including myself, we suck at it. We have Netflix. You can go outside. You can drive a car. You can do a lot of things. The liquor stores have been deemed essential. Still can't cope. I think like a lot of people, I've been spending even more time than normal in the kitchen baking. I'm trying to cope with the fact that I don't have a dating life anymore. I'm living vicariously through my other friends. My friend Judy, I had a guy break it off with her because he got upset because she wanted to actually quarantine. So his suggestion was that they could meet up in the woods. I think since roughly 1980, a little guy named Jason Voorhees has taught all women, you don't go on a date in the woods. Yeah, if Corona doesn't kill you, he will. So this quarantine recipe is one I actually took from people that are incarcerated, and you only need ingredients that you can find in your average vending machine or prison commissary. So it's really easy to begin this recipe. All we're gonna start doing is taking our Oreo cookies, separating them, and scraping out the cream filling and putting it in a separate bowl. We're going to reserve that. We're going to use that later. We will next crush all the wafers into a fine powder using a glass or a jar. I'm going to use my food processor because in my mind, I'm in one of those fancy mobster jails. We're going to add the following: a tablespoon of mayonnaise, a tablespoon of peanut butter, a quarter cup of sugar, and a little bit of water. We're going to mix this until it basically has the consistency of a brownie mix. I am disappointed though. I was having a really good COVID crush relationship going with this one guy I was chatting with online. I suggested a video call and he said he was too busy because he's a doctor. God, they're egotistical. It's all about them. And because waste not, want not in jail, we're going to use the original packaging from the Oreo cookies and we're going to bake it in the microwave for 5 minutes. Then we're going to prepare our cream frosting. We're going to use the Oreo cream or whatever cream you have left over. Wow, that sounded weird. Next, we're going to add a tablespoon of peanut butter to our reserved cream that we had from the inside of our chocolate wafers. If you're having a hard time finding an opener in an online dating situation, there are some appropriate socially distancing pickup lines you can use. I found this on the internet. Hey, babe, can I ship you a drink? I saw you from across the bar. Stay there. Next, we want to prepare our toppings. I have a Hershey's chocolate bar that I'm going to melt. I can only use my microwave, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up this glass of water for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to put the whole candy bar, wrapper and all, inside the warm glass of water, and it'll melt right inside the wrapper. So cool. Once your cake is cooled down, you can begin frosting it with our peanut butter and cream mixture. Then start decorating. Add your favorite toppings. I'm using M&Ms. You could use peanut M&Ms, really any kind of candy that you have available or on hand. And our last step, we'll cut the corner of the melted Hershey bar off, and we're going to drizzle that across our cake. And we're done. And tune in next time when we make toilet paper cakes. And then we use them.
Humans on the internet, that was the Bitter Baker.
That they gave me. So good. Thank you so much, Tiffany Norton. I'm looking forward to next week's episode. We're, of course, seeing them all in order. And she started like in 2019, I believe. So, you know, when she's talking about Happy St. Patrick's Day, for example, it's, you know, closer to Labor Day here in the real world. So you can go to YouTube and you can watch all of the Bitter Bakers, just binge it all. Sucks to your Asmar life. I'm going to wear sweatpants and enjoy my life as best I can while sitting on this couch and watching the Bitter Baker. And you should do that. And also, while you're there, subscribe to the Monday Night Comedy Show channel and watch all of the old videos that we've been doing during COVID-19, during this global pandemic of the stars. Speaking of the stars, Andrew Wegleitner, when you were looking at your camera, you had your head tilted just a little bit, and there's a logo on your shirt that made it look like you were dressed like a priest. Can we try to recreate? No, there's something called a Viking on your shirt. I don't know what that means. It's a gang. But, yeah, go down a little bit and kind of tilt your head down so we're trying to get your chin to be right there. Okay, it kind of works if you hide the Vikings thing. It looks like you're dressed as a priest.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Thanks,
is this Weg's last performance here at the Monday? Is it? Oh, it might be. Okay.
You say that every time.
Well, maybe this time I mean it, Andrew. Maybe this is the day.
It's great to be back.
Day. Thanks for being back. Everybody freak out for Andrew Wegleitner!
You don't have to freak out.
Yeah.
Just general applause. We don't need to be freaking out. I want to talk about Tiffany was doing like COVID pickup lines, and it made me think of one. Hey girl, if I could rearrange the alphabet, I would put you and I, well, not right together, like 6 feet apart with masks on. Yeah, this is my last time doing the show, actually. And then Rebecca was talking about like her friends that want to get drunk on her birthday. How big of a lightweight you black out after one bottle of rosé? Like, yeah, I'm completely blacked out. I had 4 glasses of rosé. It's high gravity rosé. It's Steel Reserve rosé, 40-ounce bottle. I called this like audio equipment store, and I was like, hey, I was wondering, do you guys repair record players? And the guy goes, what do you mean record player? It's like, what do you mean record player? You don't know what a record player is? How did you get this job? It's like a thing that you put records on, it spins around, there's a little needle on it. I was watching those Unicorn Riot live streams of the protest, and I love watching that because literally anybody can walk up to the camera and speak into the microphone and like be on the live stream. There's just one dude who walks up there and goes, I just want to say to my substitute teacher who said that I would never be on TV, fuck you! Your substitute teacher? How does that even come up? All right, class, we're going to watch a movie on the TV that you'll never be on, kid in the back row in the green t-shirt. I work at a restaurant, and we have 2-size hamburgers. You can get a half pound or a third pound. And sometimes when I tell people that, they say, which one is bigger? And I always have the same thought. I always think, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. If you can't order a fucking cheeseburger, you're supposed to be able to choose the president of the United States? Did you know the #1 last meal order among death row inmates is a cheeseburger? How fucking depressing is that? I don't think you should be put to death if your life is so impoverished that you try to conceive of the fanciest meal possible. All you can come up with is cheeseburger, but even death row inmates can order a cheeseburger. People in St. Louis Park should not be allowed to vote. I work in St. Louis Park. You guys want to unmute? I can't hear you, the laughing, if you mute your shit. I think there's some sort of problem with the audio connection, but I'm not getting a lot of laughter. Is everybody having a fucking smoke break right now? I can't see anything. I can't hear anything. This is a Helen Keller comedy. All right. One time I was waiting on a table, and they're like gonna place it over. They go, I'm trying to decide between the Cajun chicken wrap and the tavern burger. And they looked at me, and I looked at them, and they looked at me, and I looked at them, and they looked at me, and then I said, okay. Which one do you want? All right. I was in a boat with my dad's boat. I was with my nephew. He's 7. And we were talking about like the difference between a motor and an engine. And I don't know what it is. And I don't think he does either, but he seemed to think he did. And then he goes, you know, I'm surprised that you didn't know that being an adult and everything. But I guess you're funny, so you don't have to remember things. You're like a kid. I'm like a dad comic, but worse, because I don't have kids, but I still like do nephew jokes. Like, how fucking pathetic is that? So another thing, like a table said to me once, I made the mistake of telling them that I was a comedian. They go, "Oh, you do comedy? Well, then you must be a really big fan of Jack Benny." Yeah. I started comedy in 2010, so naturally I'm a huge Jack Benny fan. All my influences are from way the fuck before I was born, like super influenced by like Bob Hope, you know, fucking Groucho Marx, Pythagoras. I like Gilgamesh's, not when he got political. How do you like prove that you're an artist if you want to live in one of those apartments? You know what I'm talking about? Those artist block apartments? Like, you get these sweet apartments for really good deals, but you have to be an artist. But, like, how do they check up on that? Like, does the landlord just prowl the hallways? Like, I don't hear you practicing your harmonica, Wagleitner. I heard that when Johnny Cash covered Hurt by Nine Inch Nails, that Trent Reznor, the lead singer of Nine Inch Nails, said, we're never going to play that song again because Johnny Cash did it so well. Like, that song just belongs to him now, you know? And I wonder, like, do you think that The Who felt that way when Limp Bizkit covered Behind Blue Eyes? I'll do one more because the Vikings are playing, and apparently you guys decided this show should be 2 hours long for some reason. So I'll wrap it up, but just want to say, yeah, okay, so my boss used to say, like, in the staff room, my boss, when there were dirty dishes, they would say, I think people honestly believe that magic fairies come in here and clean up after them. And I'm like, well, you believe in Christianity. My name is Andrew Wegleiter. Thank you very much. Check out our virtual reality comedy club.
Virtual reality comedy club. Just, do you guys have a separate Facebook page for the show yet?
We have the Facebook event is up.
Okay.
I'll be sharing it. So you can follow Rebecca and I on social media. You will have the ticket link will be very available to you. So yes, follow us and it'll be easy to find. We'll be posting about it.
All right. One more time, Andrew Wegleitner.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Keep that applause going for all the comics we've seen tonight, especially our brave and intrepid in-studio performers, Eric Peter DeWolf and John Wheeler. Yeah! Woohoo! With me, as always, was, of course, J Money the motherfucking Hawk, and the wonderful and talented Saint May. I want to thank everybody here at Nano Taco, Mercy Victor, Kat Morgan, Shane, Whitney, Carly, and Jeff.
We love you guys.
Thanks
for watching.
for being so nice and letting us in here. Everybody who let us show some videos tonight. Joey Hamburger, Mikey Crone, and of course, Tiffany Norton. So remember that you have this one life and it can be short, so stop fucking around and live it. So be nice to each other and yourselves. Stay awesome. We'll see you next Monday. Thank you.
Today is that there is a weird, unsettling connection between cats and their owners. It has to do with a parasite called Toxoplasma gondii. This parasite can pretty much infect any sort of animal, including humans. But it can only sexually reproduce when inside the intestines of cats.
Really?
But in order to get into the intestines, the guts of a cat, it has to get inside the rats. So it's been found to alter the behavior of infected rats. And then they get caught and they get eaten or at least chewed up and played with a little while. I mean, just imagine it. Here's a little mouse. It's got these little things crawling around in its body and it's affecting its little tiny mouse brain. And it sees a cat. And instead of running, this little rodent looks at the cat and just kind of waits. Meow. 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 Anyway, tell me, do you know someone who just adores cats? Loves cats, cat shirts, grumpy cats, cat movie videos? Do you know someone who just adores cats? Loves cats, cat shirts, grumpy cats, cat movies, videos, cats? Is that there is a weird, unsettling connection between cats and their owners. It has to do with a parasite called Toxoplasma gondii. This parasite can pretty much infect any sort of animal, including humans. It can only sexually reproduce when inside the intestines of cats.
Really?
But in order to get into the intestines, the guts of a cat, it has to get inside the rats. So it's been found to alter the behavior of infected rats. And then they get caught and they get eaten or at least chewed up and played with a little while. The parasites are now back in the cat. They make their way to the guts, the intestines where they reproduce. Here's the spooky part. Over the past few years, some scientists have begun to suspect something again that most cat people know, that the parasites alter human behavior. Now, you might not like that, or maybe you don't care. Maybe you find it's part of the whole symbiotic relationship. But they alter it in the same kind of way that they alter it in the rats. Now, most of the time, humans will pick up T. gondii from handling the litter boxes. I mean, there's probably other bizarre ways you can get this parasite, but it's probably because you got real close to your cat.
What?
There's an increasing amount of evidence that in the long term, latent infection, that means you just didn't know, and it's been inside of you for years. It can change your personality. That means it could make you sad or blue, but more along the rat thing, the mouse thing, it makes you more attached to your cat. Of course, we're not going to get eaten by the cats. But the consequences are equally as troubling. You see, people who have been infected, thinks. Here's schizophrenia, slower reflex times. Think about getting into traffic accidents more often, or chewing on your nails too much. Not looking both ways when you cross the street. Risky behavior. Eating too much. Not eating enough. Ill-tempered. Angry. Cat forbid. Suicide. Yes. Thank you, kitties. Meow. Now you are that.